See how they hacked away at the inside of it? God, look at that.
If you guys need some help, call me. All right, guys, here's today's project. What we're gonna do is go ahead and weld some bed mounts onto this thing. The challenging part is gonna be here at the back of the truck. I have to make some custom brackets, so we're gonna have to figure that out. But otherwise, let me show you what we're dealing with here. So the first part of this job is really simple. Simply just get these into place here, get them square, prep them, weld them up. Now the more challenging part of this job is whoever owned this truck previous to this guy went ahead and bobbed this frame. So what we need to do is make a bracket that goes from here back over to here. Let's go ahead and flip this thing up and just trace where it goes. All right. So I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna do that to all the mounts. Subscribe! So now that I've got these prepped out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and weld 4 of these mounts on. I'm going to leave the rear 2 loose. So that way, in case I have to connect to the frame right where that bracket is in through the frame, I can kind of address it and that thing's not already welded in place and in my way. So we'll get started by doing that. Just occurred to me I haven't been showing you the welds. Let me show you this one. Come out pretty good. It's hard to see, not good lighting. Oh, it's fucking camera. That's as good as a video I can get, but I promise you she's a solid weld. Alright, let's get on to that one there and then we'll start making brackets. So what I needed to do is make a bracket that goes between his frame and this piece right here, and I need to weld it into the frame. So I need to get a measurement to kind of figure out what I'm going to do here. But as you can see, it kind of goes at an angle. So it looks like this thing is, I'm going to have to cut this thing about 14 inches long. And then I'll stuff it up in there. We'll kind of line it up, trace out some holes, and then we'll go ahead and try to figure out how we're going to make this thing. It's not going to be an easy one, that's for sure. But I'm going to prep the frame real quick, and then we'll get it figured out. So I happen to have this 1/4 inch by 5 inch flat stock sitting in the truck, which is absolutely perfect for what we're doing here, because this is a 5 inch frame, apparently. So I need 14 inches of it, roughly, and then I'm going to go down there, I'm going to mark out where my holes are, and I'm also going to mark the angle that I need to cut this thing at, because the frame is going to need to slightly drop that we're building here. Hopefully I have enough of this. If not, I have some 1/4 inch sheet in there. We'll chop that up. We're going to have to make some gussets of some sort. I don't know what I'm going to do there yet. Maybe some sort of, picture this here as the frame, and this is kind of coming down at an angle. Maybe some sort of triangle gussets that go from this and then go into the frame. But I don't know. When I get to that point, I'll see what I can do. But we're going to do something interesting for sure. So we have about 38 inches of material, so that's plenty. We'll go ahead and mark this off at 14 inches. All right. So that's about right there what it's going to look like. So what we're going to do is we're not going to use all 6 of these holes. We're only going to use 4. I wonder if I could just do that. That would be good. It fits right in the frame, but oh no, that might work out good. Problem is it needs to be, it needs to be right smack level almost with the frame. It almost needs to go in front of it like that. Which honestly, I think that would be an okay weld to do, because they're going corner to corner. So that's what we might do just right there. Yeah, let's sit about the same way on this side. Alright, so we're going to give that a quick mark. And then our holes. So now we got our piece all traced out and ready to go, marked up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and hit this thing with a center punch, so that way the pin on my mag drill can line up. Some of you guys are probably thinking, why don't you just cut those holes with a torch? It'd be much quicker. You're right, it would be quicker. But here's the problem with torch cuts. If you guys had seen my previous video where I was at the scrapyard, you'll see everywhere there was a ridge in the torch cut, it was potential for a break to happen, which did happen at the load bearing point on that magnet I was working on at that scrapyard. So I don't want that kind of situation here. I want this guy to never have to fuck with this truck ever again, as far as the bed goes, of course. So mag drill it is. So I stepped it up to a 7/8 bit. The bolt is 3/4. I wanted it a little bit bigger, so that way we had some wiggle room, just in case we had a little bit of a miscut. It happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to center punch all these. We got our center pin inside of our annular bit, and then we'll go ahead and drill these things out. You got that aligned piece right there, and we're just dropping that right into the center of the hole. We got the drill pretty well lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in, turn the magnet on, and start cutting these holes. there's our first hole made. Already center punched the rest of them, so even if our chalk wears off, I still know where we're going. So I want to point something out to you guys real quick. I'm purposefully cutting on this guy's concrete, purposefully doing that. And I'm going to tell you why. This guy has kids. He's got kids running around here. If I do this in the grass, there's a good chance that I'm not going to get all the metal when I run over with my magnet. So if I do it on the concrete, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get all the metal up. So that's all drilled out. Let's see how it fits up. Looks good. Yep, looks like it'll fit perfectly. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, cut that line out that I drew earlier, and then I'm gonna trace this onto the another one and then make it for the opposite side. Should work out perfectly. Sometimes you just gotta trust your eye in this career. It's not all measuring. Little hiccup, not on my part, but just on the truck's part. It looks like this frame had been hacked up pretty good. So whoever hacked it, they cut this thing down to 2.5 on the top. We're talking about the top lip of the frame, and the bottom lip of the frame is 3.25. But now on the opposing side of the truck, both pieces of the frame are 2.75. Well, we're just gonna go ahead and fabricate these things to fit this truck. I'm not gonna try to add pieces to his frame to equal it out. That's just a waste of time. We got what we got right now, so we're gonna work with it, make this thing as strong as we can. Okay, so we made our triangle pieces. This is essentially what the bracket's gonna look like when I'm done. Pretty close to that right there. And then I made the 2 triangle pieces for the opposite side. We're still burning fucking hot. Be careful. Let's see how this fits up. Right. It looks pretty fucking good. And it's by no means perfect, but it's pretty damn good. I think our customer's gonna be really happy with this. Because in my opinion, I went a little above and beyond on this one. But actually the guy is a YouTube subscriber, and he's seen my work and really liked what he saw, so he gave me a call. So yeah. If you guys need some help, call me. Oh, it's coming along, man. It's almost, we're getting there. We're getting closer. But yeah, this is what it's going to look like if you want to take a peek real quick.
Oh, none of them.
And then these are the... Okay. So I need to tack it up and then take it apart, weld the 2 flange pieces I made in. I just got to make sure they're going the right fucking way. And then I'll weld these out. But yeah, that should more than...
Yeah, man, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
I feel like it became a tedious job, though. Sorry.
Oh, dude, every welding job's tedious. It doesn't matter.
That's what you were saying.
It's just a tedious career, you know. So, like, I'll get that like that. I'll tack it up, and then you'll see we're going to get a full penetrating weld right here.
All right.
Because you can see the bevel. You don't really want to weld a bed frame, a frame to a truck. I wouldn't have done this if it was before the axle or before the suspension.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that. I wouldn't have bothered either. I didn't know it was bobbed until after he had the other deck off.
Yeah.
So I probably would have looked for a different chassis before I bought this one. I probably would have went a different route with this truck.
You know what, man? This isn't so bad, though. This will work out fine. It's just to give this a little support, and it's not like you don't have the support right here, too.
Yeah,
so
that's fine.
You got, let me tell you something. You're going to have about about 8 more bolts in your bed than I do in my black truck.
Yeah, so Julie said you mentioned something
I
like
got
that.
4 bolts holding that bed on.
Oh, shit. Well, hey, you know, well, whatever.
It's been on for fucking 3 years, 2 years. It ain't moved.
All right, good.
So it'll be good. So what I'm going to do in order to keep this square and where I want it is tack it to this 1/2-inch plate I carry in the truck. You also see me using this for my mag drill. The reason I was using this 1/2-inch plate is because the mag drill needs a lot of metal surface in order to grab, so that this mag drill is really perfect for that. So let's go ahead and tack this thing onto our plate and then weld it out. So you'll notice that I'm jumping around from spot to spot, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to disperse the heat. I don't want to weld too much in one area and then warp the hell out of this thing, because even with it being tacked to the 1/2-inch plate, sometimes you'll cut it and the thing will just curl up on you like a banana, and I don't want that. All right, so we've got this one fully welded out. What I did was tack it to this plate so it wouldn't move. I'm gonna go ahead and nip it, get it out of there, and then we're gonna put this one on, weld it up. I'm gonna spare you guys watching that, and I'm also running out of battery, so I gotta pick and choose what I'm gonna film here. All right, guys, I just finished welding the other bracket out. I'm gonna let it sit here and cool. Welds came out pretty okay. And then now we're gonna go ahead and weld this one out. All right, guys, came out pretty good. Well, that bracket on, so I'm just gonna go on the other side and repeat the process. Perfect by no means, but you know, I am only a man. Okay, it's pretty good. Welded all the way inside and out, and you can see that's a fully penetrating weld up there, so I didn't bother. This one was lacking a couple of spots, so I welded it. My overhead looks pretty fucking good. My uphill right here, I had a little bit of a, I think this is where I tied the two together while I got that little bit of drip, but it looks pretty good. And then up here, our uphill looks pretty good as well. All right, we got a pretty nice fit up here. Pretty nice, they came out pretty good. We got our bolts holding it in place. So I'll tack this up, weld that one out.
Holy fuck! Man, thank you.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, it's done on both sides. I did the same thing. I ended up welding the inside too, and I was able to get all the way around it.
Yeah.
On the inside and the outside as well.
God, look at that.
I just wanted to make sure I did a really good job for you. I don't
Anthony, man, thank you so much, dude.
Well, no problem.
Really came through on this one. Like, yes, I was so nervous about that tail end.
Yeah.
It looks good, bro.
Oh yeah, you'll never have a problem.
Thank you so much.
That's every bit as. Whoever cut this fucking frame was a real jackass though, because
You see how they hacked away at the inside of it?
that fucked me up a little because all four pieces were different sizes.
Yeah,
because they cut.
that's
them all
it was
different.
all ugly. It's like they cut it with a plasma cutter and just went nuts or something. Like I don't know what they were. It was just
Yeah.
so ugly, man.
I was like, Jesus.
I'm like, oh man, thank you so much.
It ain't the first time I've seen anything like that, but I was like, man, that was a rough one.
Yeah. I got nervous when I saw you thinking. I was like, oh, great. Man.
No, I knew. I just didn't. If I had some C-channel, it would have been a little quicker and a little easier. But you have to have 5-inch C-channel with a certain flange. And how often do you use that shit?
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm just glad I'll be driving my truck tonight. I gotta run and go get some bolts now and shit.
All right, guys, it's done. It's complete. Customer was very happy. We spliced the frame together, added all those, what do you call them, mounts. But it's actually a really cool truck. It looks just like mine, but it's an IDI. Pretty freaking cool. The guy's been doing a lot of work to this truck. I mean, you got to see it's got new body mounts, new everything pretty much. But it's actually a really nice truck. It's like my truck short twin. But, all right, guys, I'll catch you on the next welding video. If you enjoyed it, like it. If you didn't, I really don't give two shits.